Hooked. He calls. You knew he would. You have just met for the first time at your boss's dinner party, and as both your eyes met and held for a second, you get this funny feeling in your stomach. Love at first sight maybe. This should be it. You could swear you've seen him somewhere. Maybe on Instagram or somewhere else, but you can't seem to place it. You also feel like you have known him forever. Isn't that how it always starts in the movies? You let your mind wander a bit to your first meeting, or rather, the first date, as you let your phone ring a bit more, so it doesn't make you seem so anxious. You have been standing with a small group of friends and some other guests when everyone agreed that an introduction was necessary, but before it got to his turn, he gets called away. You had thought he was sexy as hell. Your eyes met his again. This time he didn't look away. You noticed his beautiful eyes with full lashes. Ladies will kill for that, you thought. You try to read him, but his face seems quite expressionless, or you just can't read minds. A hostess walks by and offers you a glass of wine from her loaded tray, and as you take the glass and look up, he was gone. You secretly search him out in the full room and notice he's mingling with other guests. He seemed quite popular and maybe important, as practically everyone seems to say hello or give a friendly hug or handshake. You down your glass of wine and started walking to the bar. You needed something stronger, as one glass of wine seemed not to have had any effect. You needed to get a little tipsy and gain just the right amount of buzz to mingle and pretend this is your usual crowd and you were just born into it. As you down the second glass of tequila and turn around, there stood Mr. Smug, as you have chosen to call him, a distance away, speaking to a stunning lady. Her red dress hugged every inch of her lovely slim figure. It made you a little self-conscious in your figure-hugging black dress. You remember her as one of the people who had taken part in the earlier introductions in your circle a few minutes ago, but you can't seem to remember her name. Not that you cared. What seemed to bother you was why they stood so close to each other. You frown as you wonder if something is going on between them. You shake yourself a little and try to talk yourself out of the way you feel, and as you look up, you lock eyes with Mr. Smug briefly and you quickly drag your eyes as you walk away. You manage to find a group of guests to mingle with and join in the conversation, but a little bit absent-minded as you wondered who he is. Your phone starts to vibrate in your purse, and as you try to retrieve it, someone tapped your shoulder. You turn around and it's him, spotting the most charming lopsided smile you have ever seen. Your phone forgotten, you stare at him in surprise for a little bit before you managed a breathless hello. You could bet that smile had charmed a lot of women before you, straight into temptation and maybe doom, cause it did take your breath away. He introduces himself, and in a matter of minutes, you were chatting like both of you were not just meeting for the first time. You discover you both have a lot in common. The conversation flowed so easily as you argued so comfortably when you disagree with him that to a third party, it would seem you both have known each other for a long time. You catch him checking you out when you pretend to look away and smile to yourself. He likes me too. There were so many things about him. The way he carried himself, the way he talked, and the way he smiled. He had a really lovely smile. Now he was singing along to the song the DJ was playing in a low tone that you could barely hear him if you aren't standing so close. You realize he just makes everything sexy. He was like the kind of man your aunt warned you to stay away from. In Lagos, the ladies call them Yoruba demon, which we could say means a playboy. You were already half in love. He was saying something to you again, but you keep staring at his lips and wondering what it would feel like to just get a taste. You caution yourself to take it easy, but then he goes and pushes a lock of hair away from face nonchalantly while he continues to speak to you as if he had done it 1,000 times before, and your heart skips a beat. You notice the way he pauses briefly before he responds to a question, his crooked smile that makes his eyebrows arch. The way he sings along makes you think he'll make an awesome bathroom singer. His clothes fit so perfectly as if it has been tailor-made exclusively for him. You have just met this drop-dead gorgeous man and you love everything about him. Then it hits you. This is it. You have been swept off your feet. You are hooked. Probably for a long time, and deep down, you do not care. You feel like you are living the lines in the song by Camila Cabello, Never Been the Same. Something must have gone wrong with your brain.